bad uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out that more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back
What up, it's your boy Roy Jones Jr. and right now you tuned into World Combat Sports.
WCS back on the boulevard once again. You already know. Big shout outs to the supporters. Big Blunts and Boxing on deck. First in the building. You already know. 2 up, 2 down on deck. You already know. What's good, everyone? And salute. We got multiple topics to talk about today. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's music to your ears or somewhat like that static. A lot of you all don't understand, you know, when we used to put the coat hanger in the TV antenna, we try to get a good signal and that should be staticky and shit. Every now and then the picture come in, it's clarity, you know what I'm saying? Clear as you want, and then it goes back out. And I'm thinking about that. I say, damn, that was hazing. You know what I'm saying? That was hazing back in the day. And it's not like the TV was cheap. It's just a lack of technology. You look on the thumbnail, man, everybody's buzzing about whether this fight is going to happen or not. You know what I'm saying? Whether this fight is still going down. The reason why it's so important is because certain individual and critics and the YTC content creators, they have been boosting up the interest of Ryan Garcia potentially upsetting Gervonta Davis. Ryan Garcia's 23 victories into the game, 0 defeats and 19 knockouts. His alias is King Rye. He's 24 years old. If you look on BoxRec right now, there's no schedule yet. You know what I'm saying? It's no future fight date in yellow. We're still waiting. It's pending. And you know, we're getting a little bit more impatient as each minute ticks away. You know what I'm saying? And that's natural. You know what I'm saying? We're on human hours. We're on human hours. Human hours is different than the hours that consist of everyday life when it comes to this boxing game. Because human hours on the YTC can go by so quickly. And you can ask yourself, damn, I can't believe I just spent that much time in one motherfucking spot. You know what I'm saying? On them human hours, man, you get delirium and don't even know it. You know what I'm saying? I just spent this much time. Imagine if we was getting paid by the hour and it was pretty damn good. You know, like you had some easier prerequisites on the YTC for content creation and all that. I mean, it will be good. It will be good, but that's not the case. Let's get to Gervonta Davis, man. Seems that, you know, no matter what he does, it's always the next of individuals that's doubting who he is for some reason. I don't know. You know, Eddie Hearn saying the man wasn't articulate. He didn't know how to articulate himself. He didn't know how to speak with a sense of purpose. That's a jab. A lot of people feel that, you know, when people say you can't articulate yourself, it should automatically be considered racism. No. You know, is it a little bit of discrimination? Yes, but not discrimination to black, white, African, European, Caucasian, whatever. No, not that. It's just basically kind of taunting your educational level. That's all. It's taunting. To say that you cannot articulate yourself is taunting. It's just basically putting it out there. I'm not gonna say that what I believe you to be, but it's a subliminal shot for somebody to try to call you uneducated. All right. Gervonta Davis is 28 victories, 0 defeats, and 26 knockouts in the sport, 28 years old. You know what I'm saying? And, when it comes down to it, Ryan Garcia is only 4 years younger than Gervonta. Now, the careers, they're much different. They have a space in between. It's a gap. And accomplishments, whatever you want to say to their credentials, it's a gap there. And for those of you that don't understand what's been going on in boxing, I mean, when you see entertainment, it's been going on. You can't sit up here and just say the Paul brothers established all that. It's been entertainment value for quite some time that goes on in the sport of boxing. It all depends on who you connected to. It all depends on who's pushing you, who's able to make the carriage move. That's what boxing's about. The popularity sense, it doesn't go for every fighter. Like, it can be a fighter that's very popular in the culture outside of the sport, right? But they're not as popular in boxing because of who they haven't stepped in the ring with, or they just may not be a fan favorite. It's difficult. It's a unique dynamic in itself, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. The metric to try to figure this formula out, to get in the good graces of the boxing fans, is still undetermined. Because some people, they get the automatic like, and you don't understand how they get the automatic like. And then you have the other boxers, they get the reverse check mark, and then they have to go through like a trial period in order to get into the like column of these boxing fans, for people to start supporting them and showing them respect. With this, we have two fighters. That's the yin and the yang. You know what I'm saying? We have two fighters that one has shown that he's a highlight reel specialist, and the other one has shown that he's a little bit more attached to Hollywood. He has the goofy side attraction to his boxing fans. The numbers on IG saying that he's up in the millions. That's what they're saying now. That's what they're saying, right? But I'm going to tell you something that I seen one time. Ryan Garcia has millions of IG followers, right, people? This is real talk, man. I don't know why I didn't screen record it. I think I was on the road at the time. Still is no excuse. God damn it. One time Ryan Garcia went live, and I happened to see the notification pop up. Oh, I say, damn, that's one thing about IG. These notifications are effective immediately, right? And I said, this dude, at the time, I think he had like he was in the 8 million, followers, right? But when he went live, he didn't even break 1,000. Ryan Garcia, he didn't even break 1,000 viewers. Now I'm talking about 1 to 1,000. I don't even know if I seen 500 in there. So look, I'm pondering, right? I'm saying, how is that to be true? How can somebody like Ryan Garcia, who they are touting to upset Gervonta Davis, like people up here saying that this guy, he has everything to take. He has youth on his side. You know what I'm saying? He has the speed, he has the power, the reach. All he has to do is put on a performance unlike we ever seen him. That's all they saying, y'all. They saying that's all Ryan has to do. He needs to step in there with Tank. Hold on for a second. I'm waiting on some information to come back. So they basically saying that Ryan Garcia has to come in here and do something that we've never seen him do before. Let me get back over here. Let me get to the chat right quick. Massachusetts fishing and growing. Salute to you, brother. Haven't seen you over here before. Salute. You know what I'm saying? Martin King boxing on deck. Salute to you, Ron. What's everybody take on Ryan Garcia ultimatum? What's great, WCS? What's good with you, Ron? Don Dada on deck. What's good with it? Salute to you. So, my biggest question is, well, I look at this rather as, you know, looking at the IG shit, right? Barely seeing anything in there that really fancy my interest. And then to hear the critics boosting up Ryan Garcia, you know, to be this guy that's capable of going in there and proving to the people that he's a durable boxer. You know what I'm saying? Now, like it's not a performance. As you stroll and scrub his resume, it's not a single performance that we've seen him go down to that place, that dark, deep aquatics that he had to really fight from a different type of energy. We haven't never seen him in that space. You know what I'm saying? That mental space where he was in trouble. I'm not talking about that Luke Campbell shit. Because look, a real one like Gervonta, if he would have knocked him down like that, the ref would have called fight again, Gervonta would have been on him. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about in a place where he has to basically breach that threshold that he's been comfortable with. He's used to a threshold where he's comfortable with feeling that he's in a sense of combat, you know, punches being thrown and everything. But I'm talking about the threshold where you're not fighting with your sense of equilibrium. You're fighting off instinct. You're fighting. You're in a guessing game right now. You still have slight mobility, but you're buzzing. Your head isn't in the right place. Somebody's in front of you, continue to keep you and disrupt your rhythm, to force you into another place where you have to just dig deep. You know what I'm saying? You have to dig deep. You have to charter into waters that you've never been before. You have to fight your way out of that goddamn danger zone and back into the light. We haven't seen that with Ryan Garcia. It's been nobody on his record to put him in that place. Luke Campbell didn't do it because once the fight, you know, once Ryan Garcia was back up, Luke Campbell for the next several rounds, he didn't do too much. He didn't follow up on that shit. So when I hear these critics, these fighters, I just hear some of these content creators, how they're so easily to bless and gift wrap Ryan Garcia with the potential of doing the same thing they say Rolly could do. These same individuals are showing us that partially in how they think as voices on this YTC, they keep on convincing us that they don't know shit about boxing. Some of them, I'll take that, I'll take that back partially because some of these cats do know something about the sport, but they have a limited respect on holding their integrity when it comes to speaking on certain topics. They would rather just go with the flow. What's gonna damn peak and make the listener raise a brow to say, I can't believe they said that. That's uncommon. Like niggas won't allow WCS to joke around on some shit and put clickbait up there because I've been an advocate against it. But some people can. You feel me? Some people can do that shit. But with Ryan Garcia now, I'm just being honest with you. They kind of giving him that same love they gave Rolly, y'all. Rolly Romero was out here telling people he was going to disperse of Gervonta Tank Davis in a single round. Nobody on his resume, we couldn't validate. We couldn't get no prior authorization to validate that his words was true. We couldn't find anything on his resume. We know he'd been in there with Jackson Marinez, but that was it. Now Ryan Garcia, he just goes one up on Rolly Romero, a guy who used to stalk him in fights and call him all out his name and shit like that, all from sparring, and say, you want shit, fight me, to BFFs. So when Ron Garcia started to kind of attach himself to Gervonta Davis' surname and then ducking out of it, boxing fans, we was feeling some type of way. And it's just amazing how certain people just get a motherfucking gift. Like they get their credentials to the fight fan is amazing. Like this dude was the Duck Masters Coalition, man. Now he sits in second place behind Errol Spence. It's amazing how some of these people just don't forget that this dude, Ryan Garcia, was pulling out of fights, just doing what the fuck he want. And now it comes back around and Gervonta does his job. And then we go to the rigmarole on whether Ryan Garcia pulled out of the fight for a tune-up or Team Davis said he couldn't have the fight. We heard what Oscar De La Hoya said, and it pretty much leaned heavy on Ryan Garcia. He was advocating for Ryan Garcia to take the fight. He believed he should have took it. It wasn't a good idea for him to pull out. And then on the other hand, people coming out and saying, somehow, some way they were saying that Ryan Garcia pretty much wasn't allowed or provided the permission to take a tune-up fight or else. I don't know. It's the hocus pocus of boxing. It's a lot of untruth that goes into this, especially when trending names hit the airwaves like this and people want to damn make somebody else seem like they're doing something wrong or not. But not too long ago, Ryan Garcia pulled out of the fight with Gervonta. People have all since forgot about that, some of them. So they give him all the credit in the world to come back, return to this conversation. And now the big topic of discussion is Oscar De La Hoya giving the deadline for today. Shout out to Don Vine on deck. I see you. Oscar De La Hoya put out the deadline for today. Let me get some of y'all in the chat. Sir Foul Player on deck. Lord of Combat. What's good with the Foul Player? Salute to you. Martin King say Ryan Garcia is where my momentum as a boxing fan goes. By like underdog situation with skills, but dog, the jury out on Ryan. Luke Campbell, Old News. Out of the chat, I'm hearing Tank versus Hector did 84K pay-per-views. Is Tank a superstar, just a ticket seller? Truth be told, Roller was putting hands on Tank before he got caught. The people ain't gonna never let that shit lie down, man. That sounds like Tank is getting better. He almost on Crawford level as his first pay-per-views. His first pay-per-views, our brother stopped at around 300,000 when they don't have dance. Dance spot means everything. Ryan Garcia is getting cold feet. I'm thinking it's him wondering if PBC would pay for waiting on Tank, but guarantee money by having a signing. For what I'm hearing, right? Guarantee money that Ryan Garcia may get a guarantee of $2 million. But let me go back to that comment up top. Hear me out on this, and I'm not talking down on none of y'all that's in the chat. This is just a dialogue, right? But peep this out. When you come over into the chat, right? Dundada to you. You say, I'm hearing. You know how I'm hearing and looking and nearing. I'm hearing, nearing, looking, nearing, hearing. You know what that does to me? That tells me there's doubt there, Dundada. It's not anything that's sealed. It's doubt, brother. Hearing does nothing for me. I have to see a link. I have to have something official. I just don't go off of it. It's easy for other people to put 84K out there just to get the attention that they want. But I can't sit up here and put 84K without knowing. You know what I'm saying? Just like they came out, man, they say Crawford did 50K. And then some other guy that looks like a dickhead, he came over here and said, well, it was an MMA guy that said 5K. You know what I'm saying? He did 5K. I just can't get into that. I can't get into that like beginners crocheting of narratives that goes on when people just want to say what the fuck they want to say. They don't care how it look. They don't care how it sound. They just want to put it out there because they feel that it's controversial and it's going to draw in attraction. I mean, it's going to draw some type of traction. But 84K to me, I have to see it in writing. Where did you hear that at? Where did you hear 84K? I need to know the source. Whatever playground you heard that, I need to know, because I still believe that Javante is a pay-per-view star. All right. This is why I say that, because people come out to see him fight and people pay to see Javante fight. Now, who knows? Is it anywhere for us to be able to gather a proper consensus to the numbers with all the damn streaming, fire sticks, and all this that goes on in this era? If you mention 84, can you believe that that number is secure? I'm talking about securely credible, so it can be reported. So you're going to hear fighters that's coming in with low numbers that doesn't necessarily secure the fact that that's what they did, bro. If we're going to talk about fire sticks and people streaming illegally, how can we come up here and say, oh, it only did 84K? That's fucked up. That's fucked up, bro. Stephen basically confirmed they're not sending the contract until Tank February court date. Andrew Charles on deck. What they do, Andrew? He said, for sure, there's doubt. Those are just the first numbers that I'm hearing. It's been a week. Don Dottie, come on, bro. Listen, you have to understand already, bro. You over on the WCS Boulevard, man. Treat it a little bit differently than you would some other places. Where are you hearing these numbers? You're educated. You've been grown enough past the critical period of learning. You know what I'm saying? You're cognizant, right? Be specific. Underline that shit. Where did you hear these numbers from, bro? Where? I don't want to hear a roundabout. I don't want to hear no roundabout over here, bro. If you're going to drop some information, just give me the source for which you heard it. That's all I'm saying. Martin King Boston said, W says, I was like, all in hearing and knowing all are devil's advocate to spread the rumors. That's all it is, man. Like, damn. What are we talking about? If you're going to provide me the numbers and you know 84K to some people that still haven't got it yet, it's going to sound a certain way. They're going to try to make Tank look bad. But hear me out. You cannot sit up here in one sentence, in one breath, and say that people are streaming the fights and they're using fire sticks and making jokes about it, and knowing that we're quite different than several years ago when it comes to pay-per-view. We're talking about an acronym that they said that was dead. They said pay-per-view was dead. So depending on who name we want to converse about, right? They want to come up here. Hey, so-and-so only did 50K. But what about the streaming? What about the illegal streaming? What about the people who's getting this and thousands upon millions are illegally streaming the fights? Is the numbers accurate? How do we validate that? How do we secure raw numbers? And if it's no way possible for us to secure these raw numbers, then y'all individuals that go around here and grab those particles out the air, right? And treat it like it's little food and nutrition for you. Bro, you need to check your filter system, because that shit is trash. You need to learn how to filter out trash. and make sure the nutrition that you're gathering when it comes to hearing this boxing news, that you digested it the right way. You just can't come up here and say, I heard he got 84K. Bro, we in an era where people illegally streaming fights, man. So that's really make him look bad. People want to come and see Gervonta fight, man. Now, y'all don't, I'm trying to bash Tank. Now, y'all don't think I'm trying to bash Tank, nothing like that. Just wanted to see what y'all think about it. Where did you hear it, though? What channel? Where did you hear it, bro? I'm not going off, all this rumor mill shit. Where did you hear 84K? Who did you hear it from? Keep it 1,000 while they're done, Dottie. You've been at this long enough. Who did you hear that shit from? Miguel, what's good? On deck with it. And I want people to hold me. And look, in some sources, right? Let's just say I came on here and said Bud Crawford and Errol Spence is fighting next. He's not fighting Keith Thurman, but he's fighting Terrence Crawford next. That is something that I got to come out the motherfucking with sources. I got to come out with some true legitimate sources, basis. I have to have something that's considered validated, true. In all of this respect, I need to have that shit on tap because the people that's listening say, hey, where did you hear that from? Where you hear that from? Where you hear that from? No, man, where you hear that from? I ain't seen that shit nowhere. They're gonna sound like I do when I be hearing these clickbaiters out here drop some news, and I'm saying, where you get this shit from? Your sources. Your sources. I remember nigga said, I am the source. Ain't no such thing. Boxing is too big for somebody to be the source, and you ain't moving into these places, and you ain't sitting at the table, nor are you on conference calls. A real source is more important. Someone who got the number from Rick Glaser. Why are you saying someone, dog? Y'all niggas not gonna put something on Rick, man. I know Rick is the insider and he get the numbers from, he already put it out there. He said he has an attorney friend that he gets these numbers from. I got it. Someone don't do it for me. You mention the info. Who is it? Some folks involved that talk are the better credited folks. Shout out to Major Key Boxing on deck. What's good with a Major Key? Rick Glaser said the numbers are so low, he waiting to come out with them. So if Rick Glaser doesn't have the numbers yet, then I truly want to know, because his source provides him with those numbers fairly in a timely manner. Real talk. His insider give him the numbers pretty expedient. Dundada said, yeah, Rick said he asking his second source to confirm the numbers. So once again, bro, I'm done asking you, Dundada. You refuse to give me a solid source and redirect me back to who's attached to these numbers. Is it Rick Glaser? Is it somebody else that said they spoke to Rick Glaser? If Rick Glaser is validating the numbers, did you hear from him? I need to know, because people are always trying to damn down Rick Glaser, right? And say he don't know what he's talking about. But yet, if you're going to come over on WCS and drop 84K and say you got it from Rick Glaser, stand on it. Stand on it. Did you get it from Rick Glaser or what? Did you get it on Rick Glaser? Did you get it from Rick Glaser or what? Man, because I'm not going to speak on something that I haven't really heard myself. I haven't seen it out there on the timelines yet. I ain't heard none of that. Y'all ain't going to come over here and spread no rumor without validating your source, bro. It ain't no knock on you, Dundada. I'm just telling you, bro. You've been at this long enough, man. Shout out to True Media Today, USA Boxing on deck. Coach Malachi in the building, man. Salute to my man WCS. Salute to you, Coach. Peace to everyone in the chat. Coach, have you heard 84K, Coach? I know you got Rick number just like I do. Have you heard 84K that Tank did 84K? And if he did do 84K, I don't look at it as anything that's wrong. Like, we're in a whole nother era of pay-per-view making money. It's quite difficult to say that people are going to be on here making those Floyd Mayweather numbers, bro. People believe that if they produce low numbers outside of the average, right? It's an acidulous type of report. Acidulous mean sour, distasteful. In this case, it's like distasteful to the ears of the boxing boxing fans and viewers, because somehow these casual boxing fans are still thinking that the average is going to be 500, 600K, 700K to give respect to these fighters for doing solid numbers. That's not where we at right now, people. That's not where we at. Those days are somewhat dissolved. And there's really no way to lock in a system where no one can crack string these fights, and that we can get some raw, true numbers. Technology is a mother, but it does have open doors. Believe me, that's what I did. I was in communication my entire service. We can brag about technology, but internal to technology, there are so many gateways that allow people to basically take advantage of systems that are somewhat breached, like pay-per-view. You can't really blame it on the pay-per-view. You have to blame it on the lack of structure. It's really no single person to secure the structure. Like, just say, for instance, the Ultimate Fighting Championship, UFC, right? They really invested money to not only catch those who crack stream the UFC fights, but they try to get some type of criminal documentation put on your ass. They try to submit criminal docs. They try to report you to the point where it's illegal. They try to make you pay the money back. They try to make an example. Shout out to Bruce Guys Boxing Jazz and more. Salute my brother Scotty. Salute to your OG. How you feeling there, Bruce? Good to have you on deck, brother. Yeah, shout out to Coach, man. He be doing his thing, bro. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Bernie the Boxer for even stepping in, you know, and doing an interview and having a dialogue, a boxing dialogue with Coach, you know, basically giving us a little bit more information about, you know, the questions that was being proposed to him and everything. That's good shit, Coach. Keep on shining, man. I just spoke to Rick Glaser. He never said Tank Soul 84. See, you know, that's what I'm talking about. And there's no knock on you, Don Dada, but you're not going to get me to emote off of a rumor. You're not going to get me to go dog somebody out. I'm not going to easily entertain that, brother. We can't say pay-per-view is dead because we have several pay-per-view. When you say dead, right? Understand one thing, Miguel. When you say dead, the last time I checked, dead means without a pulse, without life. Pay-per-view still has life. If someone did one pay-per-view, that's still saying pay-per-view is alive. It's living. It's pulsating. It has life to it. How can pay-per-view be dead? It has to be something to say it's been consummated, done, over with. There's nothing out here to suggest such. So it still has a pulse. It's still living. It may not be in the health it was when Floyd Mayweather and then was up there, you know, doing numbers. Okay, Mike Tyson and all them, but that was further back. With technology, you know, the old tradition may not work next to innovation. You know what I'm saying? Tradition may not be able to work with innovation, especially in a sport that's non-regulated. And there's really not one person that's locking down this network system to prevent infiltrators, thieves that go in here and steal these streaming. But there you go, coach. Put it out there. He never said Tank sold 84K. So we're gonna not point the finger at Rick like people love to do. They always want to point the look. In one sense, they'll say Rick don't know shit. And then in this case, they'll say Rick said it. So what you saying? No, I'm just saying Rick said it. So what are you saying though? Are you saying that you trust in what Rick Glazer said? Or no? Because any other time they'll be acting, no, he don't know nothing. Y'all can't be playing that tennis game like that, man. Coach Respect. Let me see. Hold up. Coach Respect, I wasn't trying, but I respect and trust from you about Ken, just letting you know I still enjoy the channel because of my member, Mamie 100. I think everyone should fire stick these fights until we get what we want. I can understand where you're coming from. I can understand where you want that type of retaliation. I get it because the hocus pocus of boxing, I always put it out there. Two up. I put it out there all the time. It's so much magic that I don't see in other combat sports. Like when I'm over there reading about MMA, I'm not reading about if and when. I hope. Oh my God. I'm praying. I don't get that. It's just like the fights are laid out there. Boom. The fights are laid out there. Francis Ngannou, don't re-sign the contract. Who is John Jones going to fight? Because they was trying to make a super fight with John Jones coming back to fight Ngannou. And Ngannou's out right now. Now he's facing Cyril Gane. It ain't no. Stay tuned. I got big fight news coming. Shh. Big fight news. Well, I don't get that with MMA. BJJ, I don't get that. They match up who they match with. It's only popping. I don't get that. The only place I get it is boxing. Coach say he's dropping the numbers tomorrow, but Tank did less than that from what he told me. Streaming has taken over boxing pay-per-view. This is why Showtime doesn't release pay-per-view numbers anymore. And coach, just like I was proposing this to Don Dada and anybody else who choose to release numbers, look at the scales that we're dealing with right now. If our scale back then was much higher and the average numbers, you know what I'm saying, the average numbers to consider that fighter a legitimate pay-per-view star back then, let's just say it was 500K. To consider that person, to identify them as being a pay-per-view star, we looked at it as that. We felt that was okay to check the box. Now, with innovation and everything and moving forward, hearing that the numbers of illegal streaming has basically exploded. Like it's at a whole nother level, whole nother stratosphere where you have individuals that's able to possess or be in ownership of components that allow them to stream fights without paying the price, right? So when do you think at this point in time, where we at right now, as we move forward in the future, we in 2023, when do you think the minds of these casual boxing fans will catch up and understand on a level of boxing education that we're moving forward? It doesn't mean it's a negative thing. It just means that with the times, we can continue to move towards the future. So that average 500K pay-per-view model price point or numbers is somewhat unachievable when more and more people are understanding how to illegally possess it. So that means if the pay-per-view is $79.99, those individuals, unless they are true diehard boxing fans, that's only a sprinkle. The true diehard, that's only a sprinkle. That's a little dot. That's a grain of salt, in my opinion, to the overall boxing collective who watch boxing and legitimate pay for it. When is the casual boxing fans gonna understand, man? That's way back in the day. You can't continue to bring those numbers into the future And then it used to be 500, but now they're doing an average of 100 to 150. You got to think to yourself, am I mentally transitioning and acclimating to new technology? Or is I'm still remaining psychologically antiquated and I refuse to go forward and educate myself? That's what I see. I see people stand in the past for their own specific reasons, right? And then they choose to try to convince people, oh, I'm moving with the times. I'm moving with times. I read boxing all the time. I ain't a casual. Seems like it's some casual itis that's infectious and moving forward because people don't even want to get with it. They don't want to get with the program in 2023. We was talking about pay-per-view was dead several years ago. So if pay-per-view is dead, how are we to continue to use a baseline of old numbers, old system, bring that into the new system, which doesn't mean it's an improvement that fighters can continue to fight on pay-per-view and they're going to have those same numbers back in the day of 500K, but they're into the future where they're getting lower numbers. The system is somewhat broke. It's fragmented. You have points of the perimeter has been breached. Not only has it not been repaired, but it's damn near impossible to repair it once you have companies out here creating tools that are essential and causing these numbers to be as low as it is. Why can't we graduate? We're intelligent boxing fans. Why are we reaching back several years ago to a pay-per-view model where people had less resources to illegally crack stream this shit? Now, this day and time is very easy. It's very user-friendly. Very, very user-friendly, people. We have to hold ourselves accountable. If we saying we're smart, we're intelligent, and we're pretty much acclimating to every technology, every month that goes by, we're educating ourselves. Understand one thing, we're talking about boxing. They said the pay-per-view model was dead several years ago, but yet people going in here reporting 100K as if that's poor. Who has the baseline numbers that we can go off of right now? Because as more we grow in the sport, we go into 2024, 25, 26, we go into 2030. Are y'all still going to be reaching back in the past and say, but Floyd, but Manny Pacquiao, but Iron Mike? You can't do it no more, people. You can't do that shit no more, man. You cannot continue to reach back and think it's going to be an airdrop. Let me reach back here, grab hold of this, and drop it over here. Reach back there, grab it, drop it over here. It's impossible for you to make that shit happen. It's over. There's no way that we can lock this down and secure it, to get it back the way it should be, to use preventative measures from these individuals from illegally streaming these fights and coming in with low numbers. We're basically saying we're ignorant. Those of you that continue to do that, you're basically saying you're ignorant and you don't want to progress forward. You want to stay back in the past and keep talking about numbers that a boxer or boxers who are out of the sport. They're out of the sport. And you continue to speak on them as if they still doing those numbers. That's not cool, bro. That's not cool at all, man. You know that shit make a little bit of sense. I appreciate that, coach. Appreciate that, coach. Martin King boxing is life. Tank's pay-per-view numbers have always been a point of contention. It's always a private source who won't be named publicly. You say Tank's numbers, but let me ask you this. That 87. on one hand, what fighter at this present time is doing numbers that you can brag about? What fighter is it? Now, Canelo's been in the sport more than a lot of these fighters. I'm talking about the cash cows, so to speak. Like we don't have cash cows, plural. We have a cash cow. Now, last time I checked, right? Peep this out. We have so many boxes, thousands upon thousands of boxes in the sport, right? But how can you fathom Canelo Alvarez being at the top of the motherfucking crest of the mountain, standing by his Lolo? He's standing solo dolo. How are you to continue to reach back and say that we're still in the past with these numbers and don't understand that something's terribly wrong with Canelo being the solo dolo cash cow? So therefore, we have some other individuals that are pay-per-view associates. That means we can attach their name to pay-per-view. We can attach Tank Davis' name to pay-per-view. We can attach Deontay Wilder's name to pay-per-view. We can attach fighters' names that's been on pay-per-view. It's not a certain number, but if these fighters have been on pay-per-view and they're consistent every time they step in the ring, they're on pay-per-view. Now, we can't attach the Teofimo Lopez's yet. We can't attach the Devin Haney's. I'm talking about some bigger names, right? We can't attach the Josh Taylors like that. It depends on what promotion you sign to. If they have the structure, that's one of the things about the Zone. When it came out, it was like, oh, it's not on pay-per-view structure. Okay, well, you know what I'm saying? We can attach Errol Spence to the pay-per-view structure, right? We can attach Errol Spence. Crawford's did pay-per-view. Errol's did a little bit more from my understanding, but just check it out. When it comes to Errol Spence pay-per-view highlights, people always want to talk about one fight, which his dance partner together brought those numbers in. Since then, he has been incapable of exceeding those numbers that supposedly came out with Mikey Garcia in his backyard. And also, I want you to understand one thing. Hopefully, this provides a little bit of clarity on what my mindset is. Do we consider a fighter a pay-per-view star if majority of their pay-per-view notoriety has come within their home footprint? Can we consider them a pay-per-view star? Because I'm going to be on record. I've criticized fighters. Of course, you know, foreign fighters, neighboring fighters, I criticize them for having fights in their backyard all that time. So now they basically spread their wings, fly into the U.S., and they pick up their first L. So I'm saying to myself, right, that's not the case over here in the U.S. because we have some of the best fighters, right? But I want to change it up a little bit. Like, if I have my home base with me, right? Like Errol Spence, if I have my home base, am I considered a pay-per-view star on global levels? Like, when I look at Gervonta Davis and I look at Errol Spence, I feel that Gervonta Davis is doing more because he's not sitting in the backyard of Baltimore. Errol Spence was fighting individuals in his backyard comfortably. Now, I know where Sean Porter and Errol Spence fought, okay? I understand where they fought. But I'm saying he has a soft pillow within his nest, that Texas nest, right? That he's did some numbers that people brag about all the time. But do we praise and give him the adulations of being a pay-per-view star because he's been able to fight in his backyard? Or do we praise a fighter like Tank, who's basically selling out arenas outside of his home boxing footprint? That's all I'm saying. The payback never going to happen. You know that. No doubt. Shout out to Shaw News and Sauce Experience, AK Showtime Shaw. Team Tucker in the building. You already know. On deck. Salute WCS Chat. True Media Today. USA Boxing Martin King. Salute to those. Salute to those guys. I'm just saying, man. I just wanted some understanding. Our money on deck. Salute to you. Hold up for a second. I'm trying to go back up a little bit. '87 say every source that say tank sales say they got it from the PVC. I don't get it from there really. I have other sources within the PVC that I deal with. You know what I'm saying? But once again, how solid are numbers when they come out from these promotions? Any promotions, to be honest. Even the dumbest are going to find out how to stream. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So pay-per-view is dying as I see it. But you admit, Bruce, it does still have a pulse. Because we know as long as we've been in life, man, dead means what? Without. It still has a pulse. They didn't say it was hooked up to a life support. Dan Raphael, Mike Carpenter's radio silent for a reason. Talk that shit, man. Mike Carpenter haven't came out and said too much of nothing, huh? Well, it's looking. It's looking. Javante Davis, boy, he's comically entertaining. Drop the numbers. Let's see. Javante Davis, the Cabbage Patch Kid, at 200,000 at least. Okay. I don't know why y'all be disrespecting these fighters like that. I don't know why. We have to reaccess how we look at pay-per-views now. That's all I'm saying, Coach. If we're progressing with the time, how are we going to continue? It's okay to reach back in history if we're conversing about boxing. Are we doing history comparisons? Are we juxtaposing, this fighter to that fighter of today and this, that, and the other? We have to understand that is over when you're talking about pay-per-view models. The records that all these older fighters, these vets, these legends, these greats, their record is what it is. It ain't changing. Some wins are not going to dissolve. As old as they get and they pass away, their box record is still going to reflect what their performance was, right? That's what it is. But the pay-per-view, it's impossible for them to sustain those numbers that was done back in the day comparable to now. That's all I'm saying. That's the point I'm trying to make. I know cops who illegally stream fights. Should that be a felony? Hey, man, I'll leave that up to you, brother. Yeah, Bruce Cop said, this ain't fight I want. Aaron and King knew this was going to happen and fought like hell to stop pay-per-view from becoming a thing. I like how Bob Aaron slowly moves towards pay-per-view. That's a secret, just an opinion. Good show today, Coach. What I mean, this is what they saying back in the 80s. If I know I want to see a fight, I pay for it. Even if it's a fighter I don't like, if I know I want to see if I pay. That's my personal strategy to support the sport. I don't crack any of my fights, real talk. I don't. That's in all honesty, I don't. I would rather, if it's a fight I don't want to see, I won't pay for it. I won't even really look at it. I'll tune in to somebody else's live that is doing a fight party. I'll pay attention to it that way. Illegal streaming is very bad, but America won't ever do anything about it criminally. It's hard to do something about it criminally in a sport that's unregulated. Now, is it stealing? Yes. Are they going to be able to lock it in to you? You know what I'm saying? On where you getting it from? That's up to those security measures and those webmasters that's out there to get paid to basically identify violators. They get paid to be webmasters, man. It's up to them to figure it out. Security managers, information security managers. It's up to them to get paid big money, these nerds that's out there. It's up to them to figure this out. Hey, y'all hold on for a second, man. Hold on for a second. Hopefully this is the information I've been looking for. All right, we back. So I was basically waiting for some information on that Adrian Broner and Red Cash situation. The fight is still on the hook for now, and people need to understand how the commissions work. Georgia, the only thing that really affects a fighter in Georgia is the age. Some fighters can get away with being an older fighter, but not in Georgia. Georgia will deny you in a heartbeat. But what did I tell y'all about Ivan Redcash, right? Like, he fought down here in Georgia before. So him putting out that tweet, I don't mean to get away from what I was saying. Let me get back to the chat. But I told you, came down here in Triller and he had that motherfucking deal where he went out on a stretcher and all this stuff. Man, Georgia Commission don't play down here in the boxing commission. Georgia Commission, boxing commission don't play, bro. That's probably why we're starving. We're extremely dehydrated and deprived of big boxing fights. Because somehow, some way, Georgia Commission don't play, and people ain't trying to deal with this footprint down here. But from what I was told, the fight is still on for Adrian Broner and Red Catch. It's still on. You feel me? The fight is still on, and that's from the team itself. You know what I'm saying? That's straight from the team itself. But Ivan Redcash probably have something going on. Ivan Redcash probably has something going on. That's all. I told you, man, when he came down here, he did that shit, what he did with Regis Prograis on Triller. I say, man, somebody gonna remember that. Adrian Broner ain't coming down here to fight in the State Farm Arena with Ivan Redcash. That shit moved to College Park Arena for a reason. Not so much to deal with Adrian Broner, but bro, man, come on now. Let me get back to the cook. Let me get back to the hot grease, man. Fury. Canelo had one of the lowest pay-per-views in a while, and it did more numbers than everybody else put together that year. That's based on unconfirmed numbers I heard somewhere else, of course. I appreciate the unconfirmed numbers, you know what I'm saying? Basically for zipping that up at the end. That's all I'm saying, Andrew. I can read that and I can say, okay, I can understand, but Canelo Alvarez is a single cash cow in the pasture, bro. Why? Why is Canelo a single cash cow in the pasture grazing? It should be several cows in there eating well. So if people seem to have more criticism on specific fighters that are on pay-per-view. It's not many fighters on pay-per-view in the sport. So why are people so quick? Oh, Crawford ain't doing no numbers. Oh, Errol Spencer's though. Yeah, look what he did with Mikey. And that's all you hear. It's like kibbles and bits, bro. It's like that old kibbles and bits commercial, man. He hasn't even been able to sustain those numbers. Gervonta Davis, when I say pay-per-view star, I mean people coming out to see him outside of his freaking geographical domain. That's all WCS is putting out there. They want to come see, damn Tank go in there and knock somebody's head off. I look at the Callum Smith versus Canelo on the zone. I was like, God damn, iconic crowds. Them neighboring fight cards they put on. Like I used to talk about this back in the day, how Anthony Joshua ring walk and all the pyrotechnics they put up there. I mean, it's incredible to watch. Like they have this stage that levitates Anthony Joshua above and exalt him in front of his fight fans. And then it has, AJ and freaking lights and sparkles and shit. Then it raises him up a little bit. And then down, he steps off and he goes to the ring. I mean, that shit is incredible over there, man. Different. It's different over here. It's different. Real talk. It's different. I ain't gonna lie. It's different. But that's not what we're talking about right now. We're just trying to find out why there isn't a psychological transition moving forward, where we're basically self-educating ourselves by reading up and understanding that evolution is changing. We're basically enjoying all this technology and evolution. But when it comes to boxing talk, we continue to reach back like we're living in antiquated stages, man. Like we old as shit. A lot of y'all are young. You can't be as obstinate in this boxing talk than you are in real life. It's a lot of things you won't tolerate in real life, but yet you'll tolerate in boxing talk. I'm being honest. I'm telling the truth. It's a lot that y'all put up with in real life that you tolerate when it comes to the YTC and listen to people talk boxing. That's period, bro. It's a crazy playground, ain't it? People come in here and just act like, man, let me have fun, man. Their kids be like, yo, I know you're not on here doing that shit. I know you're not acting like that. You know that ain't right. Just let me have fun. You ate lunch today at school, right? You got the new shoes. They're comfortable, right? You fed, right? You got a bed to sleep in. Let me have my fun. Shit. You got your phone, right? Your screen ain't cracked, right? You got a full functional phone, right? You're able to access stuff, all the apps you want, right? Man, let me have my fun on YouTube. If I want to lie and I'm lying, let me lie, goddammit. First learned about this, they fighting on Georgia. Learn something new every day. Man, only thing you have to worry about is eyesight and medicals. You know what I'm saying? Like, but age, Georgia's very strict. You just can't bring them off the couch bums, as they call it, down here in Georgia. That you see up there in South Carolina, North Carolinas. You can't do it. Georgia's very strict, man. Now, I'm not saying some isn't given a pass, but you just can't do that down here. That's why we can't get multiple fight cards. You know what I'm saying? With people, no, we can't do it down here. Don Dollar say, I'll tell you why, WCS, because Canelo was built up by Oscar and Floyd and fighting important fights since he was 20 years old. But see, that's just like me saying I was the first one to get a certain type of car, right? And at that time I got the car, people saying that, oh man, that conserves fuel way better than any other car that's out here right now. And you was able to afford it. I was able to afford it. But that car has since became somewhat an anomaly. It blends in with everything else because we have electric cars. We have cars that's good on fuel consumption and all that. Like, speaking of Canelo being raised by Oscar, that's just like saying, look, real talk, Dundada. It's just like me saying, hey, did y'all grow up with a father? You remember when y'all used to shit in a diaper and your father used to wipe your ass and he used to frown up to my, oh, that shit stank, man. You got to do better. You know, you got to go to the toilet. You got to learn how to go to the toilet. You couldn't even walk yet. I mean, bro, that shit is so fucking old, man. I feel you. I respect what you said, Nandala. But saying that he was raised by somebody and he's still able to flourish, though it's partially that, no doubt, but it's also with him just being that guy, like him stepping in there fighting Floyd Mayweather, taking that L, that catapulted him to a whole nother level. And then him able to get to a point where people looked at him as a premier prize fighter. A premier prize fighter. See, if Gennady Golovkin would have went in there and defeated Canelo Alvarez the first fight, and then he would have came in for the rematch and defeated him again, Gennady Golovkin would have been that dude. Gennady would have been that dude. Because truth be told, I'm going to be honest with you. Canelo ain't really, he's not a showman like that. He really doesn't speak. Back then, he wasn't speaking to us, the boxing fans, a lot. Neither was Gennady Golovkin. He just had the Mexican fan base behind him. People knew him for Floyd Mayweather. But that has since gone away. That's over, done with. This dude is basically sitting out recovering from surgery right now. He got his ass beat by Dimitri Bivol. I know it's not his only fight, but I'm just saying, bro. Let's not trip. Let's not act like Gennady Golovkin didn't leave his wheelchair on aisle number 11 and walk down there. He said, oh, aisle 11 is close enough. My arthritis here. Spray me with that spray. Get on my left hip. And spray me on the right hip. Okay, cool. That should be good. All right, cool. I'm gonna leave this right here. Just don't nobody touch it. You can't convince me that Gennady Golovkin didn't look like he was right next to having a seat with me in the hospice care, dog. Hey, Gennady, I watch you a lot, man. Oh wow, it's a pleasure sharing a room with you. Are we gonna play spades today or Uno? Oh, you want to play Connect 4? Okay. You want to talk boxing today, Gennady? We can do it after lunch. You good? Oh man, thank you, Gennady. I've been waiting for this moment. What room they got you in? You settled in real nice? Did you get your lunch card? Did you get your lunch card, Gennady? I just want to talk about the trilogy, primarily the last fight you had with Canelo. Did you know that you slowed down? It just seems like you was punching in jello, Gennady. It looked like you was punching in jello. Did you hear your bones squeaking? The joints, were they squeaking? Because I heard them. I wanted to put some WD-40 on them motherfuckers. I couldn't get close enough to do it. Man, Gennady look old as shit, man. But shout out to them, man. If Gennady would have beat Canelo, Gennady would have been in his place. That was a defining fight, man. It was defining. Of all the fights, it was defining. Who else could you say? You know what I'm saying? He has a trilogy with Gennady Golovkin, considered one of the best middleweights ever to lace up some gloves, right? In this era. I mean, both of them was able to inject a little bit more star power into their careers by fighting one another. It's just fizzled a little bit after the rematch from the draw, that Canelo just went on and did his own thing and then came back and gifted Gennady with an Abney Yildirim promissory note. That's all. And it looked terrible. It was freaking terrible, bro. Canelo fans before Floyd is what I remember. Floyd made sure Al Haymon got him that iconic youngin. I mean, kudos to Floyd for being that damn good. People want to devalue Canelo, that he was green. Look, come on, man. How old was Floyd when he fought? Come on, bro. Floyd was older. Canelo should have went in there and proved that he was there to seize the moment, and it was his time. He couldn't get it done because Floyd was that great. Haynes' legacy on deck. What's good? Your Triple G was writing his will right before the fight. He was, man. Triple G knew damn well. I was texting Triple G. I say, hey, I already got everything set up for you. You know what I'm saying? I already sent him the schedule, where the cards are being played at, the schedule each week and what we playing cards. I told him what parking space he has. I gave him the number. You know what I'm saying? I hooked it up for him, dog. I say, man, the only thing you don't have is a welcome aboard, and we will get that. We will get to that once you finish this fight. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna give you a welcome aboard greeting. You know what I'm saying? Show you around, give you a dang introductory tour, and make sure you're comfortable there, your champ. Man, it's so much that we need to unpack. Man, oh man, I just can't wait to talk about your career. What was some exciting highlights that you will always remember? A legacy fight, and that's the problem with today's fighter. How many are really fighting legacy fights? Should we blame the fighter, or should we blame the business of boxing? Business will always be in a slot before the sport. Business will always hold that slot down. Always. Boxing will always be about money. It's just back in the day, you had so many people that had their hand in the sport making money that caused a lot of corruption and predetermined fights, aka FIXED. But this day and time, that still happens. But somehow the budget is affected. You know what I'm saying? It's just so many variables that basically influence the best fighting the best not happening, because it's all about the numbers. It's all about business. When you talk about business in the sport of boxing, we're talking about the monetary dollar, bro. And who's running the monetary dollar? It's not the fighters. The fighters not going up here setting their wages. Some of these fighters are fighting once or twice a year, bro. Boxing is a business. If we're going to have debates on boxing being a business, well, you shouldn't be too perturbed when the best don't fight the best. Because as we've seen with Crawford Spence, Al Haymon don't see the money, the investment in putting that to basically placate both fighters. He doesn't see how he's going to do that. Timothy Smith came out with it. And still, the minds of those who refuse to understand, they refuse to take the knowledge for what it is and say, you know what, this is the reason. Boxing is a business, and they wasn't going to sit up here and appease the boxing fans by giving them this fight because they just couldn't financially make it happen. They couldn't make it happen. And this was told to you early in the year, but people still going around here talking about what Bud Crawford didn't do. It's tiresome. It doesn't even make any sense. Like the see these people continue to talk about the same shit, but yet they have debates on how boxing is a business. It's lunacy at its highest level, y'all. Not only was Canelo green, so was Eddie Reynoso. Don't act like before the Floyd fight and after, everyone was saying Canelo needed a real trainer. I mean, trainers will get criticism just like fighters. And I feel you on that one. But they thought that young redhead cinnamon was ready for Floyd Mayweather. He was going to be the one to dethrone him. Seriously, look, the Mexican fans, oh man, they knew Floyd was over, man. They knew Floyd was over. They said, oh man, you got this young, strong looking Canelo Alvarez about to go in here against this older Floyd Mayweather. Floyd can box and everything, but he can't fuck with Canelo. I mean, you had look, I remember, bro. I remember the Mexican fans, man, getting overly aggressive on saying that he couldn't fuck with Floyd. I mean, they was upset, irate. Man, Canelo can fuck him up. Puto, pendejo. Man, they was real. Man, they was going through life or death trying to defend Canelo going in there fighting Floyd. It's over for him. It's over. He's gonna fuck him up. I say, hey, Floyd can box now. Who gives a fuck? Canelo was the guy. You know what I'm saying? They was sold a long time ago that Canelo was him. Well, nobody gonna change their mind. And round for round, oh my God. Oh my God. Round for round, Jesus. I'm not blaming anyone, but really not many are fighting legacy fights, only gimme fights and mismatches. That's the business of it, bro. You know how they always try to sit up here and say that the promoters and managers are working for the fighters? If you hear anybody say that, you just need to tell them you're not recognized right now. I'm gonna give you a moment to collect yourself, because obviously I thought we was having an educated boxing dialogue. Obviously, somebody let you in without a ticket, and some of y'all that was supposed to get a pre-screening to see if you even qualified to be in this dialogue, you snuck in through the back door, through the window, or something. You are not qualified to be in this conversation. It's some people out there that's still saying that the promoters and managers work for the fighters, when the fighters have restrictions placed upon them. They're not able to dictate too much of anything. Look, it's not like fighters are saying, you know what, my next fight, I want to fight over here. All right, make sure you put that on the block schedule. That's where I want to fight. Okay, make sure we get it done ahead of time proactively. I don't want any hiccups. You understand me? I want it smoothly. And what ring size we working with? What gloves we got? Okay, I want my favorite gloves now. Okay, and my favorite color too. I want blue. Okay. All right. Yeah. I thought the game plan was just wrong. Instead of using his physical, he tried to outbox Floyd. Horrible game plan by Eddie. But look what you just said, Dundalli. You said he tried to use physical. Then he come in here and they say he was a strong Mexican fighter. What is the Mexican style, man? Look at Canelo's resume, bro. Half of his fights was in Mexico. So I'm pretty sure he had freaking brawls over there. He had Mexican fights over there. So to say he tried to outbox, listen, how is he gonna muscle Floyd Mayweather with that? How is he gonna come in there and use the Mexican style and be physical with Floyd, who can move and punch you from all angles? How? I think he was doing what he wanted to do. If Canelo could have landed some shots trying to box Floyd to slow Floyd down, then he would have got physical. Canelo would have got physical. He was the younger, stronger fighter, right? It would have got physical real quick. Man, I think he would have failed miserably trying to use his physical against Floyd. You're talking about a guy who can box on the inside. The uppercut was nasty. You ever hear Floyd talking about, some people call it the Philly shell, but I call it the Mayweather defense. Could you imagine? We've seen it already. Could you imagine Canelo trying to be extra physical with Floyd Mayweather on the inside and getting touched up with those short, crisp hooks and uppercuts? The way he used to roll with, I mean, come on, man. It would have been his detriment. So I think he did well by fighting him the way he did, because you have to understand that. Yeah, you can come in there and you can have the youth and the physical strength, but you're lacking the curriculum. You're lacking the curriculum, the education. You're just lacking that at that point. He learned though. You know how they say you're gonna learn today? Canelo learned, but look where he at right now. Please. For a long time, Floyd held that position as the only man to defeat Canelo Alvarez. For a long time, he held that, y'all. Until good old Dimitri Bivol came along and goddamn snatched that second L, you know what I'm saying, and put it right there to the right side. You know what I'm saying? Snatched it from the boxing guards. Give me that. God damn it. He put that L right there. Okay. Don't bring your ass up to the 175. That's why they trying so hard to allow Canelo to fight Bivol again. And they trying hard to have him come down to 68. Because look, they already experienced the disbelief of Canelo Alvarez fighting Floyd Mayweather, never having the opportunity to rematch him. So now that Bivol is still young and healthy enough, he's a reigning champion. I hope he doesn't fight Canelo before he fight Artur Beterbiev. That's if Beterbiev is still the unified champion after Anthony Yarde. But I don't feel, unless Bivol is getting paid an astronomical amount of money, I don't feel that he should babysit the idea of coming down to 168, all because Canelo wants to fight the way he wants to fight. Just because he selected to come up to 175 and took an L, now they trying their best to get Bivol to entice him to come back down to 168. When I say come back down, I'm talking about where Canelo's crown and glory is. They want him to come back down there and fight that man at 68. They want him to drain himself. And then, of course, they're going to say, well, you know, Bivol, you did get a victory, but Canelo's the A side. And we're going to put a rehydration clause in there, okay? You cannot rehydrate more than 168.1. Okay? You cool with that? I mean, I'm talking about there's a fine of 500,000 per. They're gonna make that. You can't rehydrate higher than 168.1. You know how Canelo do it. Canelo put them rehydration clauses in there, people. Shout out to Dion Washington, Tuscaloosa in the building, man. What's good with it, Dion? Figueroa versus Masayo. I like that though. You know, that's one person that didn't follow the hype. The Manny Pacquiao. That's what happened when you try to go behind a legend and you look the part, but you cannot own up. You know, and let's get it straight now. Manny Pacquiao had his downs early in career, so we can't really fault Masayo from being thrown into that silhouette. But right now, touching back on Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis, man, I'm pretty sure the powers that be understand what the court date is going to be. I mean, that's what you have a legal team for. I'm pretty sure they're speaking on it. And I really can't call it. I really can't assume that they think Gervonta is going to do time right away. If he goes to court next month, he's going to be remanded to custody right away and start serving his time. I seriously doubt it. Like majority, 95% of the occupants that was in that vehicle have all since, settled or something like that. It's just this one person, which I'm not saying they wrong. Hey, I'm not saying that, goddammit. I'm hearing from headlines that they're standing strong on what they believe in, and being that whoever is advising them, they believe that they can probably get more money in restitution if they go all the way to the damn gavel. I don't know what it is, man. They riding this out to the wheels drop them off in the court of law. God damn it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's gonna be go to the Supreme Court of America. I don't know if it's going to the Supreme Court of America, but God damn it, they riding it all the way to the wheels drop them off in court, and they pushing it, man. But we'll see what's popping with Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia. I just, in my thought, in my frame of mind, I am up to this fight. It's good that Ryan went out there and got some more tattoos just for this occasion to make a flyer. You know what I'm saying? To make a flyer, it looks so cool. And give him that bad boy image next to Gervonta. You know what I'm saying? Inked out. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. It's cool, man. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. It makes them look a certain way and all that. I'm talking about Ryan. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the dude who was out here, looking like this.
Tank, I'm gonna say it in front of Mike and Jeremy. If you do not take this fight, your legacy is forever tainted. Nobody will ever remember your name. Nobody. The money's there. I know you love money, but money's there. If you don't take the fight next, your whole legacy forever is tainted if you don't take the next fight with me.
Oh my God.
God damn, Tang. I ain't never heard no shit like this.
Ooh, he's capping, he's capping, ooh, capping.
Come on, man. Did you see how B. Ryan looked? This man had on a white shirt and a black bow tie. Now he's wearing big ass jury assignments. He's inked out. He's coming in there freaking, wearing the latest clothing, whatever it is, Dolce, whatever. I don't know. But God damn it. Come on, man. This dude was just on the podcast talking about your legacy will forever be tainted if you don't take this fight. And he the one that pulled out. Come on, man. That should hold you on the pound for pound Duck Masters Coalition for at least a probationary period of another 10 years. For real. You don't get in there on a Legends podcast and do that shit. I thought the game plan was just wrong instead of using, okay, I read that. Jokers accept the crap. All of a sudden, the real boxing consumers are not with the time, shaking my head. It's untrue that they're waiting on the trial first to sign the contract. No, I never said they was waiting on anything. I'm just saying that Oscar De La Hoya said he was giving them a deadline today. You know what I'm saying? And we've heard Espinosa come out and talk his talk or whatever. But what we're trying to understand is the OFFI shawl official. We want to hear the shawl official. We want it to be official. We want it to be on BoxRec. We want the mainstream media to start posting scheduled pressers for this fight. We just want to hear all that start to twist and turn. You know what I'm saying? Start to get in motion. That's what we want. You know what I'm saying? People like myself and many others are just making flyers off other people's flyers, to talk about and do live streams off this shit, bro. We want to see more than that. It would have been great if it was down here in the A. It would have been great, man. You know what I'm saying? It would have been great if it was down here in the A, bro. God damn it. They would have came out to see Ryan Garcia and Gervonta. Especially Gervonta, this is second home. They really fuck with Gervonta down here in the A, man. We fuck with him. Now, of course, everybody don't. But I'm just saying, boxing-wise, they would have came out to see him fight Ryan Garcia. And in my opinion, they could have took that to Mercedes-Benz. They could have took that shit to Mercedes-Benz Stadium, not State Farm. Okay, no, I know Dundada mentioned earlier. For sure. Maybe true, but what we know is that Ryan has no contract to sign. It's amazing how you hear people saying, you know, that Ryan signed the contract already. It's somewhat like he agreed to everything already, right? It kind of sound familiar, you know, to the boxing world. You know, Ryan has agreed to everything and all that, just like somebody else agreed to everything. And then, you know, they say, you know, this, that, and the other, which I don't feel like getting into right now. But yeah, that's where we at with it. That's where we at with it, man. But that's good shit. Good replies. You feel me? It's good replies. And I want this fight to happen. Real talk. I want this fight to happen. But we have a respectable schedule that's on the horizon. We do. We have a respectable schedule that's on the horizon. One of the fights on that schedule is this one that you see on the thumbnail. But also we do have the Caleb Plant and David Benavidez, which is big news. Real talk. It's long overdue. It's long overdue. It's long overdue, man. And then you know, Deontay Wilder and Andy Ruiz, if that is indeed the fight that's going to be, I look forward to seeing him fight a boxer like Andy Ruiz. And you know, we didn't have much to look at when he you know, dipped his glove in Ambien and knocked out, you know, Robert Helenius. We didn't have enough time to actually, you know, see anything from that fight. But it was good to see the champ back in the ring. You know, and that other guy, I believe, what's his name again? It's on the tip of my tongue. Arrow. Yeah, that Arrow dude. He's supposed to be fighting sometime in April. We'll see how that play out. You know what I'm saying? We'll see how that play out. But I really want to see who Bud Crawford is fighting. He you know, of course, he has that Mandy in May. Whether he's gonna fight in April, May, I don't know. But I'm just curious to know who he's gonna fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm curious to know who he's gonna fight. I'm looking forward to the Virgil Ortiz Stanthionis fight. I really am, man. I'm looking forward to that fight. Jahad Tucker has a fight coming up. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to seeing the dance hall affiliate step back in there and goddamn show us how the magic is done. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Team Tucker. You know what I'm saying? One of the names that should have been on the top 10 prospects on Timothy Bradley list, but it wasn't. But that's okay though. You know, he continued to win, go in there and show out, and let them see him dancing, you know, with the curtains fully open, the bright lights. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's a special talent right there. Shout out to his brother, $1 Million Molly. Shout out to you know, Coach Showtime Shaw, all the cats over there, Coach Terry. You know what I'm saying? Joe Daney. Joe Daney. Shout out to the whole Tucker team over there, man. Exactly WCS, same shit they tried doing with Crawford. If they can't outsmart you, they're gonna make it seem like you ducking. But nobody can fight right here because they're just trying to see it play out. But the situation with Crawford will forever be a conversation to those who choose to just continue to waddle in that ignorance. The ignorance of saying so-and-so ducking. Man, get out of here, bro. You just doing that shit for 50 cents. 50 cents. At least I can make 50 cents off this live stream. Donations. I repeat, donations. I repeat over. Donations. Crawford duck. Over. Do you copy over? Crawford duck. They still talking about Crawford duck this shit, man. Come on, stop it. Man, relieve yourself of duty, man. Reassign yourself, dog. Reassign yourself to a different topic. Man, come on. I hear so many people talk about all Crawford had to do. That's all he had to do is sign that contract. And we would have seen a fight. That's all. They swear to God that's the end all be all of Crawford signing the contract, y'all. That's unbelievable. It's very unfortunate, man. We have to continue to basically usher in a new year and to hear shit from last year. I'm talking about garbage, trash narratives, wheelbarrow ass narratives, flat tire narratives, pogo stick narratives. You know what I'm saying? Broken shin bone narratives, no Achilles tendon narratives. You know what I'm saying? The same fucking narratives all the time. All he had to do was sign the contract. Can't neither one of them voices produce to you a contract. All they going off is what's being basically recycled over and over again out here in the airwaves. And it's been embedded in them. So they come on. I remember Ness been on his shit lately. I ain't gonna lie. Boxiana called in to Ness. He shut her down too. She get out there talking about if Crawford would have signed the contract. What contract you talking about, man? You know what I'm saying? KO boxing. That's all he do is say the same shit. If Crawford would have signed the contract. And look, they'll start off with this shit right here. We all know it's facts that if Crawford would have signed it, we all know it's facts. If Crawford would have signed the contract, what we know is facts that Crawford would have signed the contract. Come on, bro. You don't know shit. Y'all keep on just saying the same thing because it sounds good and it's gotten so comfortable that your lips just open and your tongue just speak on it without even any type of accountability, bro. We're tired of hearing it. We all know facts. If Crawford would have signed the contract, we all know facts that Crawford would have signed the contract, would have had a fight. You don't know that because we can't validate anything except a final revision being sent and the motherfucker was changed to this year. Damn. 2 + 3, man, I swear to God it equals 4 when you talk about them niggas. What's going on, Tyrese? Salute to you, bro. Know that man fan is saying Thurman would be counted as a Mando. Hey, Thurman is being counted as a lot. He's giving the Danny Garcia treatment. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. You remember when Danny lost to dang Sean Porter, they kept him up there in the top 3. They kept him up there in the top 3. What are they doing to Keith Thurman? Keith Thurman is a company guy. They provide Keith Thurman with a fight for whatever reason at 54. And then they're going to hold his slot at 47. Oh, man. Merry Christmas. We wish you Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. That's what they sung to Chris Thurman. They sent some people over there, some Christmas carolers, and they was singing out there, Keith, come to the window, Keith. Oh man, we just want to open up your new year with some enjoyment, some Christmas spirit. Oh my God. I'm pretty sure you heard they're going to give you a fight at 54. Then you're going to be able to hold your position at 47 if you choose to have that damn next title shot. Oh man. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. These motherfuckers, man, they gave Keith the motherfucking present, didn't they? The gift in life. And people frown upon it because they showing you favoritism. Man, goddamn then so be it, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm looking for Terrence Crawford to get his gift. You know what I'm saying? I was hoping, praying, and wishing that we was gonna see this go down sometime or another, but we just look forward to the next fight. He already had his hand casted for the Hall of Fame. So me, myself, WCS, I'm looking forward to whoever he fights. At 47, 54. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. Because truth be told, he already put it out there. He said he don't need Errol Spence for his legacy. And I swear to God, boy, if you talking about human hemorrhoidal effect, God damn, these people was agitated. They was twitching around in their chair. I can't believe he said that. They was all frowned up and shit, throwing empty soda cans at the window at work. They was hella bit. Breaking pencils and shit. For real. Rocking in their chair. Excuse me. I mean, I'm trying to work here. Did you hear the news? Oh, God, man. Damn. I can't believe this shit. I'm telling you, man. They're never gonna get over it, bro. How dare they up there at the Hall of Fame cast his hand? Who is he? He nobody. He said he don't need Errol Spence when Errol Spence is God gift to boxing. He sits the throne in the pantheon right as we speak. We're talking about Errol, the God, truth, the Holy Spirit. May we all say amen. Come on, bro. Stop it. But anyway, y'all, appreciate y'all for pulling up, man. I'm about to bounce up out of here. Man, it's been a pleasure. Continue to support the channel, man. I need for some more subscribers, real talk. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to hear Drew get on here and whine, bitch, and complain no more. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, if somebody got his address, I want to send him a box of combs and brushes. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? I want to send him some military care package stuff too. You know what I'm saying? Some MREs, because he said F me for my service. And I just felt like he was saying that to all the veterans. You know what I'm saying? All the veterans. He said F you for your service. So I've been wanting to send him a care package of some MREs. You know what I'm saying? You know, just some little items that he never could achieve since he didn't go to boot camp. Some old boots, some polish. You know what I'm saying? Some old goddamn green t-shirts. You know what I'm saying? And covers. Okay, Drew? I haven't forgot that you said F the veterans. I haven't forgot, brother. I haven't forgot. Until next time, man, y'all turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports, man.